The Buffalo Bills are a team going into next season that a lot of people for some reason are underplaying and are claiming lost their entire receiving core and won't be able to compete, but that just isn't the case at all. The Bills are showing everyone during OTAs and this offseason that that's actually the complete opposite of what's going on. The Bills made a ton of moves this offseason, specifically in the draft, to help improve this roster that did lose a ton of key pieces and big names. The biggest question so far for the Bills is if they have the weapons to succeed with Josh Allen in 2024. For the Bills to remain division favorites and Super Bowl contenders, Josh Allen will need to maintain his elite performance, which shouldn't surprise anyone. However, this receiving core is better than most people are giving it credit for. The addition of Curtis Samuel alongside Khalil Shakir and Dalton Kincaid forms a solid trio in the passing game. Keon Coleman as well will help boost this passing game, yet he doesn't have any professional experience. He still shows a ton of potential. The Bills traded with the Chiefs in the first round, which allowed them to select Xavier Worthy, who was the fastest prospect in draft history based on the 40-yard dash. But this should show you everything you need to know about how the Bills feel about Keon Coleman. They are very confident in their selection. That's why they traded with the Chiefs in the first place, so they could continue to add to their draft haul, but also still select the receiver they wanted the entire time. Chase Claypool exceeded expectations during OTAs and minicamp. He might be the most talented of the group if he stays focused. A lot of people are quick to say he can't perform at a level we've seen him play before, but the Bills being able to sign a talented receiver like him to pair with Josh Allen will always be the best decision. This is arguably the best quarterback Chase has played with skill-wise, so it'll be a different atmosphere for him to showcase what he still has left. They also were able to acquire Marquez Valdes-Scantling from the Chiefs. I know most people last season probably know him for dropping some passes, but MVS has been a consistent piece in the playoffs for the Chiefs these past two Super Bowls. MVS came up huge in the AFC Championship game against the Bengals and Ravens, also making huge catches in the divisional just played here in Orchard Park. The Buffalo Bills have plenty of legitimate weapons, ensuring their offense will continue to be one of the best in 2024. Now, who will be the number one receiver? Since the Bills traded Stefon Diggs, the big question has been who will take over as the number one receiver. Positive reports emerged from OTAs about Coleman, but the receiver group struggled on the first day of mandatory minicamp. It's too early to draw conclusions, and fortunately, the Bills won't need to rely solely on Coleman as the primary option. The current receiving core is stronger overall than in previous seasons. While some might argue that no one matches Diggs' level, the room had been top-heavy with Diggs and several inconsistent players following him. Khalil Shakir stepped up in the later half of the last season and the playoff, and he's expected to take on a bigger role in 2024. The same goes for Dalton Kincaid. While Curtis Samuel has been a productive NFL receiver, Chase Claypool brings talent, and MVS can stretch the field. This group of receivers has significant potential, and the offense will be flexible, focusing on game plans and matchups rather than a singular receiver. The Bills have an even better receiving core this coming season than they did last year or any previous year with Josh Allen, I believe. Diggs was also causing a ton of locker room problems by himself or when his brother would get involved. Most would agree that him leaving the Bills actually benefits the locker room. You now also drafted a guy like Keon Coleman, who all we've seen so far from him since he's been drafted is how good his energy is, how funny he is, and how genuine of a person he is. The Bills need to be focusing on acquiring skillful players like Keon to develop into stars on this team, and that's exactly what they're going to do with Keon. The Bills will only have one player from last season on this receiving core, being Khalil Shakir. I'm not counting Dalton Kincaid. Fortunately, he has been stepping up a ton, like I mentioned. Even towards the end of the season, he was putting up way better numbers than Diggs. Without Stefon Diggs or Gabe Davis, Josh Allen will rely on a whole new receiving cast. The change in personnel has led a lot to doubt how far the Bills can go next season. Allen, who is known as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, will face a whole new challenge, playing without a genuine number one receiver for the first time since 2020. How he handles this will be crucial to the Bills' success this season. There is talent on the roster, and with the emergence of James Cook, the run game might become a central focus in Brady's offense, as it proved effective in the second half of last season. The Bills do have weapons, though not on the same caliber Allen has had in the past 3 seasons. His ability to elevate the performance of his receivers will be key to the team's success. If Allen can produce impressive numbers with this receiving group and they can all contribute effectively, the Bills' 2024 season could hold promising outcomes. There's also concern of Allen not being able to perform at the same level without a top receiver like Stefon Diggs. It will be interesting to see how Josh Allen will adapt to this change, as this will be the first year he's with an entirely new receiving unit. There's a lot of people saying that Stefon Diggs actually made Josh Allen a lot better, more than Josh made Diggs better. So it'll be fun to watch Josh take over in a new offense. The Bills still have Khalil Shakir and also Dalton Kincaid, the tight end who has shown so much potential his rookie season. Dalton Kincaid and Khalil Shakir are ready for breakout seasons in 2024. Kincaid had an impressive rookie season, finishing 8th among NFL tight ends with 73 receptions. With Stefon Diggs, the only player who had more targets than Kincaid in 2023, no longer on the roster, Kincaid has a prime opportunity to lead the team in targets in 2024. Being one of the top 2 players on the team in catch rate, Kincaid could emerge as a top 5 tight end in the league this season. Khalil Shakir finished last season strong, matching Stefon Diggs with 10 receptions in the team's 2 postseason games, but on 5 fewer targets. Shakir also edged out Diggs in receiving yards and scored 2 touchdowns, tying Diggs' total postseason touchdowns for the Bills achieved in 4 playoff runs, with a catch rate exceeding 86%, one of the highest in the league. Shakir is set to excel in all receiving categories in his 3rd year with Buffalo. Seeing Chase Claypool with a new offense will also be interesting as well, but it could work out for both Chase and the Bills if he can just be a consistent option when needed. Chase Claypool's NFL career has taken a turn over the past 3 years. Once considered one of the top young receivers in the game, Claypool had an impressive 2020 season with the Steelers, recording 889 receiving yards and 11 total touchdowns. Expectations were high for a breakout in his 2nd year, solidifying his place among the NFL's most productive wide receivers. However, Claypool's career trajectory took a dramatic downturn. Over the past 2 years, he has caught only 54 passes for 528 yards, a total he surpassed in just the first 10 games of his career. Last season was particularly challenging, with Claypool managing only 8 receptions on 21 targets. This will be a make or break season for Claypool, because if he doesn't show any progression this season, then it honestly wouldn't be looking too good for him. He is finally on a much better situation than previous teams he was with. Josh Allen is a very accurate quarterback and will have the task to make his receivers better this season. So watching Chase develop into a consistent target for Josh would be a huge accomplishment this season. The Bills completely revamped their receiving core, and even when people thought they were completely not able to compete, they showed why they were even better. Even when they were cutting players and the fans were very concerned on the team's future or if they were going to enter a rebuild stage, but the Bills still have the talent to compete for the Super Bowl. They will still continue to be a top threat in the AFC as well. If you made it this far and you haven't already, make sure you go down below and you subscribe and you turn on the post notification bell so you never miss a Bills video or any video at all. Comment down below what you're looking forward to most for next season. Leave a like as well, and I'll see y'all in the next one.